So let's talk about shifting. Let's talk about shift and what shift stands for in the One Degree Shift Academy. Shift, simply, highly interactive, focused therapy. That's what One Degree Shift is. Now, maybe you've seen other videos that I've done about this for the One Degree Shift Academy. If not, I'm just going to repeat this quickly. So everybody can make a 1 degree shift. Okay, everybody. Listening to this, going to therapy, reading a book, making a change, starting a business, going back to school, choosing what works for you. Those are all 1 degree shifts, okay? And what I wanted to create, and what I'm excited about this contribution to the world, is the shift. Because it's also a shift in my business. For 30 years, I did so much work, and still do, on helping people move beyond their abuse. Moving from post-traumatic stress disorder to post-traumatic growth possibilities. And I have a personal experience with this. I show people how a tragedy or a trauma doesn't have to define their life. They could choose beyond it by acknowledging what is and still acknowledging that that was and something else could be. And this led to One Degree Shift Academy. I wanted to show people and show the world that no matter, all of us go through this world, we don't get unscathed by things. We've all had heartbreak, we've all had financial issue, we've all had pain and suffering. God, let's look at the world in the last 3 years. It's changed completely. And yay for the changes, and yeah, it's been quite intense. You might still be struggling with that addiction or that relationship or that barrier or that block, or maybe you don't have love in your life. There's so many things that we can get into. Maybe you're still struggling with abuse from so long ago. Maybe it's from being in wars and traumas or brain injuries or accidents or disease. All of those things are available, and maybe you just want to make your life better and you're tired of the limiting beliefs of waking up and looking at yourself in the mirror and judging yourself, or driving around the world and judging yourself, or going to work and judging yourself. You get the point? Judging yourself. You know that voice? The inner critic? Which sometimes can not be just a critic, can be really, really nasty. I wanted to present an academy, an organization, programs, video series, live classes, events, Zooms, all over the world, in as many languages as possible, where our shift could be easy and simple. Simple, highly interactive, focused therapy. And you can click and download a video series, watch it, grow from it, and take that action out into your life. I wanted people to become, and the world to become, their own inner physician, and as an adjunct, use the coaches and the motivational, inspirational therapists and systems and books and all the things that we have out there in the world right now to your advantage as you're called to it. Try everything. It's better than doing nothing. For me personally, it took that 1 degree shift every day, sometimes 10 times a day, sometimes 20 times a day, sometimes getting on my knees and praying, sometimes getting on my knees and crying was a 1 degree shift, to just create the space, to surrender, to know what is the next step. And all I want to do is prevent dis-ease. We don't have to live in dis-ease on any level, psychological, emotional, energetic, financial, or spiritual. But many of us do, and I did for a very long time. So everything that I'm doing now is creating after abuse is in this 1 Degree Shift Academy, and I show you how. And I give you tools, training, techniques, and other avenues that are simply highly interactive. Focused therapy, and you become your own inner physician. And this is my greatest contribution to the world, is to move and choose and shift and change and know that anything is possible, and you are the possibility. Check out onedegreeshiftakademy.com and our plethora of video series and live events, and I'd love to contribute to you more. Go make your 1 degree shift and go be great.